all good things must come to an end, and no, I'm not going to be playing that goddamn Nelly Furtado song in this video for that. Eventually, I had to finish off the BluePrint series because, after all, there's only so much you can fix in one fucking game. Then again, this is Call of Duty, and shits need to be fixed all over the goddamn place. Now, the gameplay in the background is actually some old-ass footage of mine, all posted on my channel already without commentary and shit like that, all spliced up just for this video. And fuck it, if I'm going to end this series, I might as well do it in style with my own damn gameplay over the past few years when this game was actually playable. Now, obviously, over 24 videos, I've gone through plenty of information in detail. I've done close to 5 hours worth of ideas on how to fix and improve Call of Duty, and I've said from the start, if I was in charge of this game, these are the changes I would work on. Now, unfortunately, we know that Activision is not going to force the developers into making any major changes to the game, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, let's recap all the videos in order of what I've been looking to do and looking to fix. At the very beginning of the series, I said the game needs a new engine. Infinity Ward is bullshitting us saying they have a new engine, but as we all know, it's just another heavily modified engine. Obviously, we just saw all the footage from Call of Duty Ghosts. It looks like the same shit. Yeah, they added some damage. Yeah, they added some environment destruction. They added a whole bunch of things I've been asking for, but like they said over the past few years, they were going to be adding some of that shit. But let's face it, it's the same fucking engine. While I can agree that it's certainly not the same engine they licensed 10 years ago, the bones are still the same, the structure is still the same, and the numerous mechanical problems the game had that are engine related are not going to be fixed by modifying it. Reality is, the game needs a new engine to tap into the potential that Call of Duty could have. Especially if you're going to be going to a new console generation. No, instead of leading the charge and improving the game, the developers continue to be content with mediocrity. Again, if I had my way, I'd replace that sumbitch with something more robust, but I don't expect this engine bullshit to change anytime soon. After that, I then discussed why Call of Duty needs a third company. It's not so much to replace these two jackass developers we have now, but to help with the ongoing support of the game after release. The clusterfuck of support we received after we buy the game is horrible, and Activision's solution is for us to pay for more DLC to make it all better. Instead of patching the game, you can purchase additional useless shit that will still be broken like all the other shit in the game that hasn't been fucking fixed. I mean, why fix sniping 8 months after the game was released when another game was just 4 months away? I mean, yeah, that's some great logic for you, but hey, we got some more DLC on the way. Greedy fucking cocksuckers, man. Now, of course, I also introduced FATs, fuck all that shit, and gave specific details of the shit that I wanted to fix. And it wasn't until the 4th video that I started giving all my ideas on what I would use in my created game. The first order of business was removing the 3 tiers of perks we have now. Just give us 9 perks that would balance from the start. No more of this bullshit of putting all the different perks to act as a counterbalance to all the shit we have in the game. Now, you have 9 empowering perks. I gave a breakdown of the 9 perks I would use in the game. And then when people wondered why I added certain elements to the game, they thought I was fucking crazy. They wondered how no blind eye was going to work, or why flak jacket wasn't included, or why in the world someone would use marksman. Of course, I knew the reasons why, and I was holding out for future videos so you guys can see what my course of action was throughout my ideas. Now, I did 6 goddamn videos on kill streaks alone. All of them over 10 minutes apiece, because the amount of content I needed to talk about needed fucking fixing. That's 1 full hour dedicating to fixing something. And if an element of the game needs that much time to explain fixes, you know the shit is fucked up. I would add different kill streak systems similar to the strike packages, support, traditional, and killer. And then I broke down the kill streaks into categories that made sense. I also brought back the original 357 style of system from Call of Duty 4 that made the game popular all those years ago. 6 videos, all to say that Call of Duty 4 did shit right all those years ago. I mean, that just goes to show you the fucking brilliance that game had all those damn years. Now, I got into how to build a fair map and then how to test out the guns along with the attachments we'd use and shit like that. I also eliminated quick scoping with the addition of the lens cap on sniper rifles only. However, I made sure to keep that group of gamers happy with arcade mode, a mode designed to keep all of Call of Duty's bullshit in one place. That was added along with casual modes and competitive modes to fix the leagues and shit like that. Game and gun mechanics were talked about, and to be honest, I could probably do another 25 videos on just the number of things that needs to be fixed or needs to be removed. Knifing got its own video because we all know how I feel about knifing this motherfucker. Oh man, seriously, I hate that bullshit. And now I've seen this crap in Call of Duty Ghosts where you can just stab a motherfucker in the chest with 1 hit killing it. Oh god, man, that shit would be fucking frustrating as hell. I delivered new game mode ideas and a game of the week option to allow people chances to play game modes they normally don't play, all for different incentives. And of course, one more detail element that I touched on was the prestige system, combining all the prior Call of Duty attention grabbers like contracts and challenges and shit all into one area to give people more incentive to play this game. And finally, I had to address the campaign and co-op, which sadly, the campaigns of Call of Duty can probably be beaten in the time it would take you to watch this whole series. I dare you to try it. I dare someone to go out there, go play a Call of Duty campaign while putting the BluePrint series on your laptop or whatever the fuck, and see which one finishes first. I will bet you guys will finish a Call of Duty campaign on normal difficulty before you finish watching this entire series. That's how fucking short they are. Call of Duty has the advantages of being the top selling game on the market. And being the top game on the market means a number of things. First of all, you don't sell billions of dollars worth of games if the game doesn't have some sort of appeal to a large audience. That's just common sense. I don't care what series you compare Call of Duty to, whether it's Battlefield, Halo, Homefront, Crysis, no game has the market share that Call of Duty has. And yes, even its Xbox sales actually outsell Halo games each and every year. And that doesn't include your PC sales, that doesn't include your PlayStation 3 sales. Just like in sports, when you are the top team, when you are king shit, where everyone is chasing you, that means you got there for a reason. You got to the top spot by some reason. So in theory, you should have the least amount of shit to change each and every year. If you sit at the top, that means everything you've done to get there was worth it. Being number one usually means you have very little to change or improve on. It means that all your competitors need to make changes to beat you. Again, it's similar to any sport. When a team is winning multiple championships, like the Bulls or the Lakers or the Yankees, the Cowboys, the Red Wings, all teams I can't stand, by the way, they have the luxury of sitting back and watching other teams make changes to improve their chances. You don't want to be number two, you want to be number one. So all video game companies that aren't number one have no choice but to make more changes than Call of Duty. They have no choice but to improve their quality to catch up to being the number one seller. Call of Duty has the benefit of sitting back, letting everyone else around them make changes, letting everyone else around them spend more money on improvements, more money on talented programmers, more money on new engines, new features, new writers, new concepts, you name it. Meanwhile, Activision gets to tell Infinity Ward and Treyarch, hit the copy and paste button, and the money you save on doing that will put into bigger advertising and bigger marketing campaigns to sell you half-ass watered down product. Nobody will know it's fucked up until after they purchase the game. That's the level of fucked up logic we're dealing with as customers. That's the level of arrogance we deal with from Activision to Infinity Ward to Treyarch. Now, one of the questions I've been asked numerous times during the series, and probably more than a few people have wondered about this shit, how much of this shit was planned and how much of this shit did I put together at the last minute? The funny thing is, over the past 6 years of playing Call of Duty, we as players have the luxury of second-guessing decisions developers made in their games. You know what I'm talking about? Why did they think Commando was a good idea? Why didn't the game have host migration to Modern Warfare 2? Why are the spawns terrible each fucking year? How come I always end up in rooms with idiots? And yes, the developers have listened to our complaints about what's wrong with the game, but just complaining doesn't net results. When you offer solutions to a problem or suggestions on ways to improve, you get results. I would say that 90% of the shit that I talked about in the BluePrint videos are things that I've thought over for the past 6 years with this goddamn garbage. Things like, why isn't there a limit on kill streak totals? Why do I need 4 perks to avoid shit in this game? How come there's no penalty for a corner camper using Ghost? Why do I have to play 50 fucking games of Sabotage on Infinity Ward games as opposed to any other fucking game mode? I even went so far as to make other videos on my channel before the BluePrint series ever existed. You know, how to fix knifing, how to fix the support packages and shit like that. Other shit I just held on to as mental notes and prepared for the series. Now, when I sat down and I started plotting out how to fix Call of Duty, I didn't think it would take this long. Nor did I think it would be this popular. I figured maybe 10 to 12 videos or so, maybe I could just mention the little things that here and there they could do, but I quickly realized that anybody can say, hey, Infinity Ward, your kill streaks are fucking broken, so fix them. I wanted something different. I wanted something detailed. So I figured what items need to be fixed the most, and I put a plan together on how the developers can fix each one with simple solutions. What would a casual gamer want? What would an experienced gamer want? What would a professional gamer want? And little by little, the series grew into what you guys just witnessed. 25 videos of the shit that has gone wrong with the world's biggest annual selling franchise. And the only reason I'm stopping at 25 videos is because I could probably do 50 videos if I fucking try. Think about it. How many videos went over 15 minutes alone? You know, I could have done a campaign-only video. I could have done a co-op-only video, or done minor items like create a class and equipment, or they would have been 3 to 5 minutes long and shit like that, but I didn't want to drag the series out. 25 videos on fixing things was good enough, considering none of this shit is ever going to be fucking fixed. Which leads me to my final thoughts on the BluePrint videos. Back when I was doing rants on Black Ops 2, I did a video on why Call of Duty will never have a beta. And the overlying premise was that we pay Activision for the beta right now. We pay for an unfinished product, and we pay at record amounts. We pay them billions of dollars annually to produce a game with plenty of problems that are only addressed when the community becomes more vocal about it. So if consumers make Call of Duty the best-selling game of the year, if Call of Duty sales numbers are only topped by the next Call of Duty, what incentive do they have to change? I mean, this is the basics of business. If you're selling your product better than anyone, why change? If Battlefield continues to only sell half the amount that Call of Duty does, why change? Hell, Battlefield has to keep innovating each year to make a better product, and they still can't outsell these cock monkeys at Call of Duty. The reason why Call of Duty doesn't change is because of us. It's because we keep giving them money. It's because we haven't been vocal enough to ask for change. Activision doesn't give a flying fuck if we ask for something as long as we keep handing over our hard-earned cash to them. Fact is, Activision, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch can change anytime they wanted to. Look no further than their buddies over at Microsoft to learn the hard way what consumers thought about Xbox One. Between the embarrassment of their console announcement as a TV guide, backlash over their restrictions, and ultimately saw the pre-order sales were so far behind that Microsoft ended up making a change to every single element that made the Xbox One unique. Microsoft didn't make those changes out of the goodness of their hearts. Microsoft made those changes after the first week of pre-orders were released. They made those changes after the first sales projections because just like Activision, a company pays attention to their money. And they make changes that will increase the amount of money they receive. When we as consumers start fucking with the money of a company, they listen. When dollar signs are replaced by middle fingers, they listen. When millions of people speak out against this shit that they don't want or threaten not to give these greedy bastards money, they sure as fuck listen. Unfortunately, with Activision and Call of Duty, we don't fuck with their money hard enough. We pay them each year billions and billions of dollars, and they have a hard time listening to complaints over the sound of Bobby Kotick counting all his money. If people really wanted change, if people truly wanted this game to be fixed, they would use their wallets and bank accounts to do so. But until that day, these changes that I've detailed among the countless other suggestions that have been made to improve this game, these ideas are gonna go unheard because money talks. I can bitch and yell and create all the greatest ideas in the world since HD porn, but Call of Duty doesn't always listen to their fans first, they listen to the money. I can't change this game alone by myself, nor will it be changed with 1,000 complaints or 10,000 complaints. It'll only be changed when millions of dollars are taken out of the pockets of these greedy cocksuckers at Activision. As vocal as the community can be, the only true way of lighting a fire under their ass is to fuck with their money. That's it. So the BluePrint series, as detailed as it is, was only a dream. It was a figment of potential that will unfortunately never happen. But hopefully, over the course of these 25 videos, you guys were entertained enough to know that Call of Duty can improve if they actually listen to someone whose head wasn't shoved up their ass. And who knows, maybe somewhere down the road, one of these douche monkeys at Infinity Ward or Treyarch will get the urge to actually improve their game. Maybe this will be sent enough times to Bobby Kotick or Infinity Ward or Treyarch to warrant notice. Maybe 1 million viewers will see this series and realize that this game isn't improving enough each year to warrant us spending $60 fucking and another shitload of cash on DLC. But until then, you guys can enjoy 25 videos of a game that could have been. So anyways, this has been a long and entertaining journey and is now officially over. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. Feel free to go back and hear all my ideas, listen to all the videos one by one, and you can see just how complete this series really was from start to finish, from every idea from video 1 all the way to the final rant in video 25. And with that, the BluePrint series has now officially come to an end.
Greetings, J-Logo. It's been a long time since your last assignment. You've avoided us long enough, but it's time to get back to work. Now that you've bitched long enough about your make-believe Call of Duty game, I have an assignment waiting for you when you return to action.